Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start with the chapter lesson 17, Stars and the Solar System. In this chapter we are going to discuss about Moon, the solar system, the Sun, planets, some other members of the solar system, constellation, and last we are going to discuss about artificial satellites. So students, let us begin with the chapter. Now during daytime we see only Sun, and during night we'll see planets, countless stars, moon, comets, meteorites. Okay, so the vast space which includes everything that exists on the earth and around it is called universe. So the universe includes stars, planets, moons, meteorites, comets, and asteroids. So this we are going to learn detail in this chapter. So first is Moon. So the celestial body revolving around a planet is known as satellite. So all planets except Mercury and Venus have natural satellites, and the Moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth. Now students, let us discuss about the characteristics feature of the Moon. So first is distance of the Moon from the Earth, that is 3,84,403 kilometers. Now time taken by the Moon to complete one revolution around the Earth is 27 days 8 hours, that means 27.3 days. Moon's diameter is 3,474 kilometers, that is little more than 1/4 size of the Earth. Moon surface. Now Moon surface is made up of mountains and craters. Craters are saucer-shaped holes formed when asteroids and comets from the space hit on the Moon surface. Now what more you can see on Moon surface? Now there are many steep and high mountains on the surface of the Moon. Now next we are going to discuss about Moon's atmosphere. The Moon has no air. As no air is present on it, so no atmosphere. Okay, so there is no atmosphere on Moon's surface. Next, life on the Moon. No life exists on the Moon because of absence of atmosphere. Surface temperature during lunar day is 107 degrees Celsius, and surface temperature during the lunar night is minus 153 degrees Celsius. Now students, let us discuss about two sides of the Moon. Now the Moon rotates about its axis is about the same time it takes to orbit the Earth. It means the rotation and revolution of the Moon is same. Okay, same time it takes to rotate also and to revolve also. So the side of the Moon that faces the Earth is called near side, and the opposite side is called far side. The far side of the Moon was first photographed by the Soviet Luna 3 probe in 1959. Now students, let us discuss about the phases of the Moon. Now Moon revolves around the Earth, and the Earth revolves around the Sun. As a result, the Moon also revolves around the Sun along with Earth, and the Moon reflects sunlight falling on it towards the Earth. Now we see different amount, or we can say portion, of the sunlit surface of the Moon from the Earth depending upon the position of the Moon, Sun and the Earth. Thus sometimes we see no phase of the Moon, that we are saying new moon. Sometimes we see half of the Moon, and sometimes we see whole circular face of the Moon, that is called full moon. So the day-to-day changes in the size and the shape of the moon as seen from the earth are called the phases of the moon. Now students, let us understand this in detail. So first is new moon. Okay, in image you can see new moon. Okay, so here when moon is in between the earth and the sun, then the side of the moon lit by the sun is away from the earth, and the side of the moon which is towards the earth is dark. In this position we do not see moon at all, so this is called new moon. So the new moon day is also called Amavasya. It means we cannot see the moon at all on the new moon day, and it is very dark, having no moonlight at all. Now second is crescent moon. Crescent means sickle shaped. Now as the moon moves in its orbit around the earth, we see a small sunlit portion of the moon's surface, and this is called crescent moon. So that we are saying waxing crescent moon. Now next we are going to learn first quarter, or we can say half moon. Now as moon moves further, the sunlit portion of the moon facing the earth becomes bigger. Within a week we see half of the moon, or it is called first quarter. Now next is gibbous moon, or we can say waxing of gibbous moon. Now when we see more than the half of the moon, it is called gibbous moon. It means the increasing size of the lighted part of the moon is called waxing. And next is full moon. Now after 2 weeks time, after new moon day, that is Amavasya, the moon reaches on its 5th position, which is on the side of the earth and away from the sun. Now in this position, the whole sunlit side of the moon is towards the earth, so we see the full face of the moon. The moon is round and beautiful. In this position it is called full moon. So the full moon day is also called Purnima. The full moon night is very bright because we have the maximum moonlight on that night. Next is waning of gibbous moon. Here you will see that size, or we can say the sunlit portion of the moon is decreasing. So that we are saying waning of gibbous moon. And next is 3/4 half moon. Here we will see the size has become half. Okay, so half of the sunlit portion of the moon we will see at this position. So this we are saying 3/4, or we can say half moon. And still the sunlit portion of the moon is decreasing, more it is decreasing, so it will become waning of crescent moon. And last, again we will not see any moonlight, so that we are saying new moon. So this decreasing size of the lighted part of the moon as the moon revolves around the earth is called waning of the moon. And increasing size of the lighted part of the moon as moon revolves around the earth is called waxing of the moon. So increasing size we are saying waxing, and decreasing size of the lighted part we are saying waning. So the increasing and decreasing size of the lighted part of the moon as moon revolves around the earth is called phases of the moon. Now students, in this slide you can see waxing moon. So first will be new moon, second will be waxing of crescent moon, third first quarter. Okay, third image you will see that is first quarter. Fourth image you will see that is waxing of gibbous moon, and last you will see full moon, that is Purnima. So here the size of the lighted part of the moon is increasing. So this we are saying waxing moon. And in this slide you will see that the size of the lighted part of the moon is decreasing. So here you will see first Purnima, or we can say full moon, then waning of gibbous moon, third quarter, waning of crescent moon, and last you will see new moon. So this we are saying waning moon. So here the size of the lighted part is decreasing of moon. Now students, let us discuss about the solar system. So solar system consists of sun, the 8 planets and their satellites, and thousands of other smaller heavenly bodies such as asteroids, comets and meteors. And sun is the center of the solar system, and all these celestial bodies revolves around it. Okay, so the 8 planets in the order are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So this we can remember with a simple short form, that is MV, EMJ or SUN, or with one simple sentence, that is my very efficient maid just served us noodles. So if you are remembering this sentence, you can remember the order of the planet. Now students, let us discuss about first celestial body, that is sun. So the sun is the nearest star from the earth. It is the star around which the earth, planets and celestial bodies revolve. So sun is the head of the solar system. Now sun is a medium-sized star, and compared to other stars, it is of average brightness. And why it appears bigger? Because it is much nearer to the earth than any other star. So sun is the main source of heat and light for all the planets. Now students, let us discuss about the characteristics feature of the sun. So first is distance of the sun from the earth is 150 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilometers. Second, size. Its size is 109 times bigger in size than the earth. Talking about its mass, that is weight, is 3,30,000 times as heavy as the earth. Next is diameter of the sun is 14 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 kilometer. Temperature. Now temperature at the surface of the sun is about 6000 degrees Celsius, while the temperature at its center is about 15 million degrees Celsius. Life. It is believed that the sun was formed about 5 billion, or we can say 500 crores years ago. Now it is estimated that the sun may continue to give its light and heat to us for at least another 5 billion years. Thus, the total life of the sun has been estimated to be about 10 billion years. Now students, let us discuss about planets. So planets are solid heavenly bodies which revolve around the sun in closed elliptical orbit, or we can say path. So there are 8 planets including the earth in the solar system. The 4 inner planets, that is Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars, are called terrestrial planets. So these terrestrial planets have dense rocky surface, few or no moon, or we can say no ring system. And for outer planets, that is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, are called Jovian planets. So these planets are having a large amount of gases, so are called gas giants. Now students, let us discuss about the characteristics, or we can say some important features of this planet. So planet has no lights of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. So Mercury and Venus are visible early morning before sunrise in eastern sky and early evening after sunset in western sky. So Mercury and Venus are called morning and evening stars. Next, the planets which can be seen with the naked eye from the Earth are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. So only two planets, that is Uranus and Neptune, we cannot see with our naked eye. We can only see them with the help of telescope, as they are very far off from us, from Earth. Now talking about its size, different planets have different sizes. So Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system, whereas Jupiter is the biggest planet of the solar system. Now talking about its distance, Mercury is the nearest planet to the Sun, while Neptune is farthest from the Sun. Now planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the Sun. Now this path is called orbit. So period of revolution for Mercury is minimum, that is 88 days, whereas for Neptune it is maximum, that is 165 years. Now Earth takes 365 1/4 days for completing one revolution. So time taken by a planet to complete one revolution is called period of revolution. Now planets also rotate about their own axis. Now the time taken by a planet to complete one rotation about its axis is called its period of rotation. So Earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. And the period of rotation for Jupiter is minimum, that is 9 hours 55 minutes. Whereas for Venus it is maximum, that is 243 days. Now Mercury and Venus has no natural satellites, and Venus and Uranus rotates on its axis from east to west, whereas the other planets rotates from west to east. Now some planets have one or more natural satellites, and the Moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth, whereas Jupiter has maximum confirmed satellites, that is 63 in number. Now let us learn about each and every planet in detail. So first is Mercury. So the planet Mercury is nearest to the Sun, and it takes only 88 days to complete one revolution. The surface of Mercury facing the Earth, facing the Sun, receives the maximum heat and light, so it is very hot. So its temperature is 520 degrees Celsius, whereas the other side of Mercury, that is away from the Sun, is quite cold. So its temperature is minus 175 degrees Celsius. Now it has no natural satellite. Now it is visible just before sunrise in the eastern sky and sunset in western sky. Now it has almost negligible atmosphere. Negligible means no atmosphere. says there is no atmosphere, so no proof of life is present on Mercury. Next is Venus. Now Venus is the brightest planet in the night sky, and it is the Earth's nearest planetary neighbor. It has no natural satellite, and just like Mercury, it is also visible before sunrise in the eastern sky and after sunset in western sky. So unlike Earth, it rotates from east to west. And Venus also shows phases just like Moon. You can see in this image. Next is Earth. The Earth is the only planet in the solar system on which life is known to exist. Now, the Earth is at the right distance from the Sun, so it has some special environmental condition like right temperature, the presence of water, a suitable atmosphere, and a blanket of ozone layer is responsible for the existence and the continuation of life on the Earth. From space, the Earth appears blue-green in color. Why? Due to the reflection of light from water and landmass on its surface. The Earth has only one natural satellite, that is, the Moon. The axis of rotation of the Earth is not perpendicular, but it is tilted to an angle of 23.5 degree to the plane of its orbit. So, the tilt position is responsible for the change of the seasons on the Earth. Next is Mars. So, Mars is reddish planet. It is red color. Its red color comes from the iron oxide, that is rust, in its soil. So that is why the Mars is known as the red planet. It has two tiny natural satellites, and it is nearly half the size of the Earth. It possesses an atmosphere mostly of carbon dioxide. Next is Jupiter. Now Jupiter is the largest planet of the solar system. The mass of Jupiter is about 318 times of our Earth. Now Jupiter has the 63 known satellites. The Ganymede is one of the Jupiter's satellite, which is also the largest satellite in the solar system. It is larger than the Mercury. Now next is Saturn. Now Saturn has the most visible and beautiful rings that encircle the planet. The rings are composed of ice and rock particles, and it appears yellowish in color. It has 62 confirmed satellites. Now Saturn is the least dense among all the planets. Its density is less than that of water. Uranus. Now Uranus also has a ring system, and it has 27 natural satellites. Like Venus, Uranus also rotates from east to west. And the most remarkable feature of Uranus is that it has highly tilted rotational axis. Its axis of rotation is inclined at 97 degree. This means it rotates almost on its sides. The Earth, with its axis at 23½ spins like a top, while the Uranus rolls like a ball. Now Neptune also has a ring system. We need a telescope to see it in the night. It has 13 known satellites. Now students, let us discuss about stars appears to move from east to west in the sky. Now in this, when we sit in train, what we see is that nearby trees and buildings appears to move in backward direction. Actually, the trees and buildings do not move. It is the train that moves ahead. Same way, our Earth rotates from west to east on its axis. So, the stars appears to move from east to west. It is for the same reason the sun appears to rise in the east and sets in the west. However, the sun actually does not change its position. Now students, let us discuss about units of measuring distance in the universe. The distance in the universe are very large. Kilometer is an extremely small and inconvenient unit to express the large distances. So, the extremely large distances between the various heavenly bodies like the stars and the planet are expressed in another unit known as light year. So, the 1 light year is the distance traveled by the light in 1 year, which is equal to 9.46 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilometers. So, we know the speed of light, that is 3 lakh kilometer per second. So, 1 light year is equal to 3 lakh multiplied by 365 days, that is multiplied by 24 hours, 60 minutes and 60 kilometer. So in short, what we can say, that 1 light year is equal to 9.46 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilometers. Next is Alpha Centauri. Now Alpha Centauri is the nearest star to the Earth apart from the Sun. The distance of the Alpha Centauri is 4.3 light year away from the Earth. Now how we can calculate this? To find the actual distance of Alpha Centauri star from the Earth in kilometers. So what we can do? See here down in calculation. 1 light year is 9.46 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilometer. So 4.3 light year will be how much? Do cross multiplication, calculate it. So you will get the answer, that is 40.67 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 kilometer.